Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Schizomanic here, the insane game freak. The journey starts today. The journey starts today. All right, so before we even get into the review, just want to go ahead and put this out here and make an announcement on this video because the next video I want to be just a pure reaction and discussion. So the next episode review will be the Gary one, and it will also be the last like weekly or consistent episode review. Pretty much what I've decided is after we do Gary's episode review, which I hope to be a group effort, like Iris's episode review, I want it to be a group effort with pretty much me and everyone else in the pod. So me, Tyrone, motherfucker, couldn't make it. Couldn't make it. It always gets me. These fucking phones. These motherfucking phones, man. I want it to be me, Tyrone, TSS, Polly, Nessa, KG, and Richie, if we can get it. That's the goal. So the goal is nobody to watch the fucking episode until we're all together. And then that video will be put up on the channel, the live reaction, and probably the review that may or may not take up another like 30 minutes. So we'll see what happens. That's the goal, is to do that. And then after that, I'm just taking a break. And the reason why I'm taking the break from reviewing Journeys is a couple reasons. One, I haven't reviewed a Journeys episode the day it came out, I think, since the very beginning of Journeys, if even that. And I don't like the fact that it's kind of taken over the channel. Again, this is what happened with Best Wishes. Although Best Wishes, I enjoyed more, which is the other reason. Not only am I tired of Pokemon kind of taking over this channel that's meant to be an anime channel that kind of just turned into another Pokemon channel. The other thing is that I enjoyed Best Wishes for the most part. Da was the worst part of it, and Da I don't even hate that much thinking back on it. And I might feel that way about Journeys, but like as I'm reviewing Journeys, and you guys have noticed through the episode reviews, most of those episode reviews have been pretty fucking negative overall. And honestly, at that point, it's like, why keep reviewing something that you feel this negatively or consistently? I guess that's the better thing. The fact that I feel this consistently negative about it is a fucking problem. So, in my mind and in my opinion, at that point, that tells me I need to leave this shit alone. Not saying I'm gonna I'm not gonna stop watching Journeys. I'm just gonna stop reviewing it. And if I do come back and review it, it'll be like in chunks. So maybe like every 13 to 26 episodes, I'll come back and do kind of like an up-to-date thoughts on Journeys. But at this point, it just doesn't seem practical to keep doing it this way. Also, the goal is that for this channel to get more variety in its content that doesn't have anything that isn't just Pokemon Journey stuff. I can do other Pokemon videos on top of other anime videos in general, which is kind of what I want to get back to doing anyway. So, needless to say, after Gary, you won't be getting a Journeys video or a Journeys episode review for a while, probably for like the next couple of months. So don't worry, there will be anime content on the channel. It just won't be specifically Pokemon related or specifically Pokemon Journeys related. Because I think I'll probably still have Pokemon content. I just probably won't have Journeys episode reviews. So that, with that being said, we're gonna review the last two episodes, which is the Flabebe Florges episode and the Detective Pikachu, not Detective Pikachu, Mystery of Stolen Electricity episodes. Just to get the fucking Flabebe Florges episode out of the way, I don't really have an issue with the episode other than one section, which is the release at the end. It irks me that the most developed Flabebe we have is gone, and now you have all these generic Flabebes that are just there, which is stupid because when they all evolve, you'll have a bunch of Florges in the area, and it's dumb that the one that you spent the most time putting some effort into writing is gone. And the one thing I guess that bothers me about that episode is really just, okay, I get it. The white flower is hard to find, right? I get that the white flower is hard to find, and then it grows. It's very not inconsistent, but it's hard to find places where it grows, and it has a stunted growth. What's stopping them from trying to create the weather conditions in Sakuragi Park and create like a breeding ground for white flowers? Like, I wish that was brought up, like, or at least offered as an idea of like, hey, why don't we try growing white flowers in the park, and maybe Flabebe can watch over them, right? That would have made the most fucking sense. Um, because there's nothing else wrong with the episode other than the weird release that I'm just like, well, I don't feel sad about the release because my time limit to feel sad about the release was like 20 minutes, which is the length of the episode, because that's the most attention Flabebe's gotten in the whole fucking series so far, other than its capture, which was like all of 5 seconds, if I remember correctly. I like this episode primarily for its lore. I think this is one of the better lore episodes, especially considering that Absol episode was some fucking dog shit as far as lore was concerned, or just it was just a bad representation of Absol. This is a good representation of Flabebe, considering Flabebe also doesn't have that many episodes to show off. I think the only other episode it has is I think in X and Y, and that's it. So I'm glad it gets a good lore episode. I just don't. I think you could have easily taken seeds from the white flower and tried to plant it in Sakuragi Park and create the proper weather conditions. It also would have gave Flabebe something to do, and it would have caused the park to change in a certain way. It's kind of like a cool aesthetic change that would change over the course of the series. Like, as the series went on, you would get more and more episodes where, oh look, there's more flowers in the background. They're specifically white. Why? Because Baby's been working on the garden. That's cool shit, and it would have you could have incorporated a lot of the other grass types. I don't know. I just felt like the release didn't need to happen. But that's like my only complaint about it. So my only complaint is, why did you release a Pokemon? It's a fine episode. The Pikachu one, Jesus Christ, it's so fucking throwaway, and it's really fucking obvious what the problem was. It goes, oh, Pikachu's the one responsible for stealing electricity. Well, they usually would only do this joke if the answer was really obvious. Oh, I wonder what other electric rodent is in this series somewhat consistently, and that would have a knack to do this. Oh, that's right, Morpeko. But here's the part about the episode that pissed me off. So the understanding is that Team Rocket was stealing electricity to feed Morpeko, so Morpeko would stop eating their food. And it took until like the third to sixth house to be like, well, it doesn't actually like eating electricity. What? So what? Like they pretty much threw in this answer of like, oh no, it doesn't really like eating electricity. You didn't notice that after the first time when you stole electricity and it didn't work? What? Like, he like Morpeko flat out refuses the electricity. So I'm like, did y'all not like? Did he not have this reaction on the first house? Why are y'all still stealing electricity when he seems to not care for it? Actually, I've never even known Morpeko to eat electricity. That's what made this whole thing worse. I'm like, what? And the funny thing is, they bring up the Dene, but don't actually just acknowledge that the Dene is the only one that would have made sense. Like, it's such a pointless, stupid episode. Then they do the thing where they throw in the intro for like a montage sequence of like Ash and Go helping out June. I mean Professor not Professor Officer Jenny. See that Junsa, because her name's Junsa in Japanese and it's fucking me up. Helping Officer Jenny. I think the only thing that hurt me about that is that they still had the character's audio playing in the background. So like you can still hear Ash, Go, and Jenny talking in the background, and I'm like, why even have the intro in here then? Just do the intro and do the montage. I don't need the fucking, and the montage is really stupid. I also find it funny that the whole detective with the who says his intuition is never wrong. It's like the theme of the episode. Like he's like the gimmick character of the episode, and he's only in the beginning and at the end. Like he's not in the middle of it at all. He's not even involved in the main interaction at all, really. I don't know. And then, oh, look, here's the Koharu cameo because we haven't seen her in a while. And spoiler, we're not going to see her next week. So I'm like, this episode's all over the fucking place. It's not even funny. Like, the funniest thing is supposed to be the whole Pikachu being accused thing. And then they do the dumb gag in the beginning where they put the handcuffs on him and they're like, my hands are tiny as shit. This doesn't make sense. Like, the whole thing just comes off really fucking dumb. Like, it's just dumb. And if anyone thought about it, it's like, wait a minute, Morpeko If you don't like electricity, why are they just now realizing it? Not us. And he's like, and they're like, oh well, the Pokédex didn't tell us. You should have been able to tell by its reaction. Were you just giving it electric bottles and not realizing he was still eating your food? Like what the fuck? I don't. This game, this shit's dumb. It's just fucking dumb, yo. The whole thing's fucking dumb. But whatever, whatever. Fuck. I have nothing else to say on that one. Just, Jesus Christ. Fuck. I don't care, yo. That episode is just trash to me. It's like it's just a bad filler. And then, like I said, the Gary episode I don't expect to be great. I think the Iris episode will be better than the Gary episode, primarily because they're throwing like three or four things in the Gary episode. It's Gary, then it's the reunion with the Mons, then it's Infernape, then it's Go because the title's like Go's new rival, then it's Moltres, which by the way, in my personal opinion, Moltres is the least interesting of the three legendary birds from Gen 1. I would take Zapdos and Articuno, and I'm talking about Galarian and Cantonian form. I would take both of their forms over anything Moltres related. He is the least interesting. And I think he's the worst of the three birds anyway, even mechanically. I've seen people use Zapdos like a motherfucker, and Articuno at least had the advantage of having like a typing that could fuck some shit up in Gen 1 anyway. But like Moltres, you have Charizard. The fuck I'm using Moltres for? I say that, and Moltres might have better stats, but I don't fucking care. Moltres is the least interesting bird. So I'm like, none of this is gonna end well. I don't think, but we'll see what happens. But that will be the last Journeys episode review. So stay tuned for that reaction. There'll probably be a live reaction and episode review. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, other than that, just the first episode, the fucking Flabebe Florges episode, fine. That's a decent episode. The electric thief, that can go kind of. That one will be forgotten within the next like 10 weeks because there's nothing of note or value in it. They've even done the gag of of Team Rocket being starved for food for more Pecco eating so much. That's not even a new gag. That's an old gag in Journeys. Journeys has done that gag before, so I'm like, I don't know what the fuck. This felt like filler, and it felt like mediocre ass filler. Well, I'm gonna stop ranting on him, just leave it alone, and just say the journey didn't end today. The journey ended today. But leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. This has been your boy, the Insane Game Freak. I just realized my beard looks darker in the camera screen, which is cool because it's not that thick. I'm going to bed, y'all. Actually, I'm going into the shower. Then I'm going to bed. Good night, everybody. Peace all. You know, if I focus this right, I can kind of like peer into your soul. I don't think that shit works as well as I wanted to, but fuck it. Yeah. Got your soul, bitch.